Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. It was inspired by a card that I saw that had been made by France Martin, so thanks very much for the idea, Frenchie. To start off with, the card pieces that you will need. The card base is Whisper White and that measures 8 1/4 by 5 3/4, scored and folded down the middle. A layer of Sahara sand, which is 3 5/8 by 5 1/4 inches. Then Whisper White, which is 3 1/2 by 5 1/8 inches. You'll also need a strip of Sahara sand, which is 3 5/8 inches wide, so that it fits across here, and at least 3/4 of an inch wide. You'll also need a small piece of Whisper White to do the little butterfly. So the first thing I'm going to do is, my stamp set I'm using is the fabulous Painted Petals. If you saw my previous video, you know that I'm absolutely totally in love with this. I think it's fantastic. So I'm going to start by doing the small stems at the bottom. And for that, I'm using the little stamp, which is this one here, just the 3 stalks. There is a right and wrong way to do this. I don't know if you can see it, but on the top here, the stems are a bit longer, whereas at the bottom, they're more or less all the same length. And you'll see why that is important as I show you what I do with this. So I'm using old olive ink, and I'll put a scrap of paper down as I'm going to be going off the edge with this. So the first bit of stamping I'm doing, I'm going to do this so that my stems just come off the bottom. See, very, very fractionally, and then move along to the end of the cardstock. Then the next stems I'm going to do so that they fit in between the gaps here and they're slightly higher. So they'll be like, it's about 1/2 inch higher, I think. Yes, that's good. Again, move your way along. Like that. Now this is where it becomes important about the stamp being up the right way. What I want is for the stems to come right down to the bottom of the page. So if you turn it upside down, where you've got the bits all the same length, and because this is photopolymer, trying not to get my head in front of the camera, it is quite easy to line the rest of your stems up. You do get that little dark bit where it's overlapped, but that doesn't matter because we're going to put a strip of Sahara sand over it. So you won't be seeing that. There we go. Then the next bit I'm going to do is I'm going to use the little 3 tulip heads here. And that I'm going to use Blushing Bride. And I'm going to do the bottom ones first. And then I'm going to move up to do the taller level. There we go, so that's that one. The next piece I'm going to do are these tall stems with the leaves. And I'm going back to my old olive for this bit. The stems on this are a lot thicker than these stems, so you're not going to be able to line up perfectly. But I do try and get the two stems onto two of these. Also, let me just show you, on this card I've done the flowers the same height, but I have made others where I did at an angle like this. So you have a choice. I've decided that I think I prefer the same level here, or at least more or less the same level. So I'm going to stick with that. And move over. Maybe I'll do it a little bit higher. Maybe not. Is that any higher? No, it isn't. It looks higher from where I'm sitting. Oh well, there we go. I'm happy. Then I'm going to do my top two flowers. Again, going back to Blushing Bride. These are the two I'm going to use now. That was the tall stalks. Now these will sort of line up here, and if I got my paper piercer, let me show you how these do line up. If you have them like this, let me see, can I show you? That bit there will line on the tall stalk, and then tilt it back, that bit in there, you see that? Yep, that bit there will more or less line up on the second stalk. So let me see if I can do this. That's about right. Yes, that's good. And again. There we go. Again, you may have noticed that on my cards I have altered whether I have done the greeting in green or in pink. I definitely think I preferred the green, so I'm going to stick with my green one here. And also on this one I'm going to change the sentiment. The one I have been using is "You are amazingly amazing." This one I'm going to do "Friends become our chosen family." I think that is an absolutely brilliant saying. So yes, we're going to do green. Actually, I didn't check whether this is going to fit in or not. Yes, that will fit in. Let me move this down while I try and line it up without getting my head in the camera. There we go. Yes, that's good. I think that's pretty straight. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my layers. Oops, no, don't go away. Can I reach another piece from here? Drop that on the floor, knocked that on the floor. That's okay. I'm going to put this piece on the Sahara sand. Oops, you've just run out, haven't you? Okay. fortunately these are nice and easy to replace the refills. But why it always has to happen when I'm doing a video, I don't know. There we go. Right, let's try again. Right. Now what I'm going to do next, before I put the next layer on, is I'm going to use, I think this is called the Dotty Scallop Ribbon Punch. And just to cut my strip here, what I always do is, again, I don't know if you can see that, when I'm doing a strip I always start in one of the dips there. Yep, I think you can see that. At least it means one end is going to be fitting in nicely. It may not be both ends because obviously depends on the actual length of the strip, but at least I know one end will be fine. Oops, missed. Let's try that one again. That's good. Okay. A little bit of rubbish away. And I'm going to adhere that to my base by using some wet glue, and I just put a very thin line of it down between the two rows of holes. Not too much, because the last thing I want is for it all to come squeezing out. Right, now this is where you can use this to cover up where your tall stems have finished and also where you've done the join there. There we go. And then I'm just going to turn this over and trim that little bit off. Okay. So now that I've done that, I'm going to adhere that to my card base. I really like this colour combination with the Sahara sand with the green and the pink. I normally just stick to one colour, but so to do the three, that's a little bit outside my usual. Now let's move that sheet out of the way. Bring my card back in again so you can see what I'm doing. Move those out of the way. And my little butterfly. I'm using this butterfly, which comes in the Papillon Potpourri stamp set. Not that one, that was quite different. Which I have to say is another of my favourites. So Blushing Bride. That looks a bit mucky. I'm going to use the Bitty Butterfly Punch. Punch that out. I'm going to fold that along the body either side so that I get a little straight line there. So I've got a little flat piece, and I can put my glue onto that. Not too much because I don't want my wings to get stuck down. There we go. That should be up like that on that one. Right, this, I've already cut myself a strip of three pearls for the body of the butterfly. There we go. Oops. Come on, down you go. Oh, come on. That's better. Okay. Whoops. Don't you go running away. So there we go. That's my card. Again, I've gone with my green because I do prefer that overall, and I've changed my sentiment. I think that's beautiful, really lovely. Definitely going to go down as one of my favourite stamp sets of all time. Anyway, I hope you like my card, and I hope you decide to give it a try. Many thanks for watching my video. If you have any questions, please contact me. I'm always happy to help. If you've enjoyed watching this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button, which will either be to the top right hand side of your screen or a red button just underneath. And if you'd like to buy any of the products, please visit my website, which is www.janbcards.com. You'll find a 24/7 button there for no, the other way around. You'll find a button for my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.